PPDNs and Pastor Jerry. My name is Davida.
I'm Mavis, Emmanuel, and Ariella.
We are here to testify of the goodness of God and what God has truly done in the life of my little brother. So back in 2024, when my brother was in high school, he complained of severe headache, and it was a headache that really put him in a position where he was not able to walk or talk or move. And so it got to a point where my mom was like, we have to go to the hospital. And so the first hospital that they went to was Ridge Hospital, and that's where my little brother got hospitalized. As soon as they took him in, they decided to do MRI scan to see what was going on in the brain. And so the doctors, after doing so, they diagnosed him to have brain cysts and hydrocephalus. And so because of all of this, my brother needed to go in for surgery. And so the surgery dates were
6 September 2024. That was the first surgery. 15 September 2024. That was the second surgery. And then the third surgery was 3rd October 2024. That the doctor decided he can't do the surgery again.
So these surgeries that were mentioned, the dates that were mentioned, were for tubing. So they had to put in a tube to go in his head to drain out the water that was being blocked at the back of the neck for my little brother. That was the hydrocephalus thing that they were trying to fix. So at that point, when they did the third surgery, the doctor at that time, who was overlooking my little brother, said that he would just, like, he's not able to do it. He's not able to go into the brain, to get into the brain to remove the cysts, because he will not survive. They said that if they crack open his brain, it would be like a Coke bottle that would give out the sound of a fush, and then it's just gonna explode and he's just gonna pass away. He was just mentioning so many other things that were like, he says, if we sell every single thing that we own, all of our assets, every single thing that we own, honestly, he said that still it would not be worth it because he's gonna pass away and he's gonna die. So we were all in fear at that point. My auntie reached out to my mom and actually decided to offer her an NSPPD link, to which we were able to get on NSPPD. When she sends the NSPPD link to my mom would just play it every day. Like, it was just an everyday, oh Lord, show me mercy. Every time, any prayer, live or old prayers, we would just continue praying that over my brother every single time. During our time of prayers with NSPPD and with Pastor Jerry, one day the doctor ended up calling us in the office, and he ended up mentioning that actually now his brain has gotten cancerous. It's no longer cyst, but it's cancerous. He is just going to write a letter to whom it may concern, and we're just gonna have to figure out who we can send it to and who can help my little brother. And at that point, my little brother was just unconscious one day, conscious the other day. We were just in dire need of hope. He could not walk, he could not talk, he was just almost a vegetable. My mom decided that she needed to get that letter and to send it out to hospitals in Ghana. And so the doctor referred my mom to Kolebu. They sent the letter to Kolebu Oncology, and that's where my brother was now transferred to Kolebu Oncology. The doctors over there looked at the MRI scans and everything, and they were like, this is abscesses. At Kolebu was where my brother received 4th surgery, where he went to theater to actually go to do his 4th surgery for the brain abscesses. After my little brother received his 4th surgery at Kolebu, honestly, he went off. He was in an unconscious state where even stimuli were not revitalizing him. He was not coming to life. He ended up going on life support, where they ended up putting in trach tube in his throat, and he was just in a coma.
And one day that I was sitting at the lab crying and praying NSPPD at the same time, I fell asleep and I saw a simple man like Pastor Jerry, because he was wearing a simple top, just simple top like you. He came to me and told me, oh, you like this song, but you couldn't sing, so I am here to teach you so that you go and sing to your son and he will come on. He tried to teach me the song. That is when I realized I am at the lab. So this is the song. Mon fa seda shena himpono so namo fana ye prana ba manase mo nanase mo shrani di Adi ota foneso amaye mona nasi monshadidi wamayenya ayarisado. So I went to the nurse and I asked the nurse, can I go and see my son? And he said yes. So when I went in, I just hold my son's hands and then I started singing the song. While singing the song, hey, Pastor Jerry, what God cannot do does not exist. My son opened his eyes. Oh! And the machine was starting beep 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 beep. Pastor Jerry, he came in and then removed all the machine from the Emmanuel's nose and mouth. We went to surgical ward. Now that they have hope to go in again, which is the 5th surgery, which is 3rd December. And then they went in again for the 6th surgery, which is 4th December.
Up until this point, Pastor Jerry, we've now had 6 surgeries where the doctors have gone into the head of my little brother. And one day on the fire altar, we heard Pastor Jerry, Papa say, hydrocephalus, be reversed. Hydrocephalus, let it be reversed.
Hydrocephalus. If you are the one, put it on the live stream. The devil is alive. The devil is alive. I announce, let it be reversed.
And also another day on the altar, he mentioned abscesses be reversed.
I hear cerebral abscess. Cerebral abscess. The devil is alive. I announce, let it be reversed.
And so we just keyed into it and we claimed onto that word, clinging onto the word that the Lord will reverse the hydrocephalus and the abscesses in the brain and everything. And so on the 18th of December 2024, that's when we did the 7th surgery before Ima went into the theater for the surgery. This was his last surgery where they had to get into the brain to see where the abscess was on his brain stem. Before they went into surgery, the doctors asked my mom, they said, should we do this surgery? Mommy stood up confidently and she said, what you saw before, you will not see it again, as Pastor Jerry always says. And so she had that confidence in her and she proclaimed what Pastor Jerry will always say. And honestly, they were laughing. This surgery, this is a major surgery because at this point in time, the doctors were communicating within themselves with all specialists of all kinds and letting my mom know that this surgery, they have to get a specific machine, which was an ultrasound pro, because prior to that, they had done the MRI or CAT scan of where the last of the abscesses were. This one was located on the brain stem, and so they needed an ultrasound pro machinery and all types of specialists to get involved to the surgery because of how dangerous this procedure was going to be. They were all scared and they were all fearing that this surgery would be the last of it, and this one might be the one that might actually make my little brother not be alive anymore. And so finally the doctor said that they were ready to take in my little brother to do this last procedure. And so all types of specialists from all over, doctors, neurologists, surgeons, every single specialists you can name and mention were in the room during that time. They had their ultrasound pro. They also had their CAT scan and MRI scan of where the abscess was located, which was right on the brainstem. Pastor Jerry, as soon as they used the ultrasound pro to guide them, they were ready to crack open the skull. They were ready to do every single thing. But as soon as they seen with the ultrasound pro where the thing was so that it could guide them, Pastor Jerry, the abscess was no longer on the brainstem. It had disappeared. They were confused. They were looking at the CAT scan and the ultrasound and they were like, this thing is right here. What do you mean in the span of a few days? This thing has disappeared. For hydrocephalus, they saw that it was G clear. G clear means what, man?
It's gone.
It's like gone.
Perfectly clear.
The hydrocephalus, the water in his head is gone.
It's
G clear. So it has turned from green to white. So it was J clear. So
Hydrocephalus was reversed.
Yes, it was reversed, and the abscesses too
Was also reversed.
the
It
one
was
that they
gone.
saw on the brainstem
Brainstem.
from on the 13th day that we had a scan that they saw, they went in and it was not there anymore. So what they saw on the 13th, on the 18th, just 5 days, it was not there.
It was not there.
It was not
As
there.
Papa had
Papa has always
proclaimed
said.
and prophesied. So Pastor Jerry, the doctors came running out. They ran out of the theater and they came to tell my mom.
In fact, mother, we were all surprised. We didn't see anything. And I said, yes. Do you know Aaron? I was asking them, do you know Aaron? So I fell down and I was rolling and shouting, what God cannot do.
That's
not exist. What God cannot do.
That's not exist. He dey pray,
He dey show.
Pastor Jerry, look here. All of these files were from the CAT scan, the hospital, thing,
lot of
lab
all of it.
tests and the
Every single
MRI.
thing. All of these were all documentation that my little brother, in fact, was at the hospital and was hospitalized.
Yes.
And Pastor Jerry,
And that is
we
Emmanuel.
have come like the leper who came to say
Yes.
thank you,
This is
because
the old- the old
indeed
is gone now.
God has done it for us. My little brother that was not able to walk and talk and move and was proclaimed to be as a vegetable, and to when we sell everything, he's not gonna make it, he's gonna die. This is him.
This is
testimony.
This is him.
He's
testimony.
He's talking.
That is
Hallelujah.
testimony.
He's moving, he dances, he sings, he shouts, he jumps, he does every single thing.
Indeed, what is impossible with man is possible with God.
This is my God way.
God way.
God way.
This is my God, way you are too much.
Shortly after that, my family went to the Ghana conference, the Accra conference,
Yes.
and we were
11
praying for
December,
relocation, we were praying for immigration, we were praying for favor from Elroy,
11
and
December
God
2025.
answered our prayer. And now my family also, another testimony is that they're here with me in Canada. The prayers that we had long been praying for have now also been answered. And so we want to thank Elroy. We want to thank you, Pastor Jerry.
As Ghana
We want to
conference
thank all
2025.
NNSP
We
friends.
come to Canada, and now we are in
here.
Canada.
We dey pray.
It is so.
We love you all, the experience. We love you all.
Celebrate!